Hi, I'm Libby Doggett, the Executive Director of Pre-K Now, where we work with policymakers and advocates across the country to make high-quality, voluntary pre-kindergarten available to all 3- and 4-year-old children. Like millions of Americans, we want every child to enter kindergarten ready for numbers, letters, and teamwork, the building blocks for success in school and in life. From decades of rigorous research, we know that children who attend high-quality pre-K are better prepared for school than those who don't. We have a small window of opportunity before the age of 5 to stimulate the brain development that is the foundation for learning. A quality pre-K education helps parents make the most of that opportunity. Last year, we observed a classroom in Virginia led by an amazing teacher, Ann Topazzi, and her invaluable assistant teacher, Kim Doe. You're about to meet a handful of Ann's children. Together, they'll tell you and show you what children learn in pre-K.
When Erica started in our pre-K classroom, she had already had 1 year of Head Start as a 3-year-old. She dealt well with other children. She understood some of the conventions of school that take a little while for a child to learn when they first come to the classroom.
Friends.
She had some good number sense. She was counting past 10, and she had a good sense of rote counting. As the year progressed, Erica was able to not only increase her rote counting skills, but she started using a lot of math-type words.
Is it more than 35 or is it less than 35?
Less.
She always seemed to use math skill in a conversation so that we got the sense that she really understood and really conceptualized what numbers meant.
How many cubes are there?
I had a lot of sorting activities. For Erica, we'd started with just sorting by color. And then when that was very easy for her, we had more materials available to her so that she was not only sorting, say, by color, but she was sorting by color and shape. And then it was not only color, shape, but color, shape, and size. Natea came lacking some of the skills that I thought she might have in place. While she loved picture books, she had very little knowledge of the fact that a book actually had written words that communicated a message.
Now we need 4 cookies.
She came without much counting knowledge. She didn't know to begin with the number 1, and she also had very little knowledge of the progression of numbers.
4.
Who's got it?
Natea has developed a lot of math and quantitative skills through her pre-K year.
Where would you like to work?
As the year progressed, she started with counting starting with the number 1, and she often skipped numbers. With frequent practice, repetition, and as a classroom exercise, with her just listening as her classmates would count, she began to fill in those voids and then eventually moved on to counting nearly to 20 without any skips.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Wonderful!
Cesar came to pre-K with no English at all. One of the interesting pieces about Cesar is that he could easily transfer from English to Spanish.
Stop when you do see me.
As he was learning English, he would communicate with his friends who were Spanish-speaking, primarily in Spanish. Every now and then, a word would sneak in that was English. Then as he started speaking more English, I was finding that he would be making a sentence in English, and all of a sudden the word y, which means and in Spanish, would be substituted for the word and in a compound sentence. At this point, he is pretty much speaking English consistently and appropriately.
Like the best.
I like chicken.
Very nice, and what a sentence. Good job.
He has a very broad vocabulary of English words.
What is his name? It's a duck. You got it. Okay.
He can communicate his needs beautifully. He speaks to his friends, and they understand exactly what he wants in English.
I got a new computer.
That's another piece of satisfaction for me, that we have built the confidence in him to the point where he knows he can say just about anything.
You're looking for this book, Carlos? You're looking for this book?
William has always been somewhat of an amazing child. When he first came to the classroom, he had a lot in place.
Like this.
He could reproduce letters. If given the letter, he knew how to write it.
There is a lowercase b as well. How does the lowercase b look? Do you remember? You're right. It has a line and then it has a little ball at the bottom.
And he had quite a good ability to draw and illustrate something that he wanted to communicate.
And my mom and my sister and my 2 baby brothers.
And your 2 baby brothers. He also had some idea that books and words have meaning, and he really always enjoyed looking at books. Having a lot of good literature and opportunities for him to get meanings from books and pictures was the next step. And as the year progressed, of course, then we started talking about how the letters make sounds and putting those sounds together.
T for Mrs. T.
You got it.
And D for dinosaur.
That's it.
Baby owl.
Shortly after, he was reading very simple words and repetitive text. Once he had that down pretty substantially, then we could move on to some text that had fewer visual cues, to the point where he was figuring out some emergent reading books with very few picture cues to support, but he wasn't using the support as much as he was using his ability to break down the words phonemically and be able to figure out what the words actually said.
Baby owl for a spider. Oh no, said the spider, a baby owl.
Oh, and there's the spider saying,
oh no.
Mm-hmm. When Jillian came to school, she was very timid. She did not have a great deal of confidence, which was actually belied by her great vocabulary.
Not bunny. Not bunny. Buggy. Not buggy. Yeah. No. Yeah. Misty, he says that car is not a buggy. Not a buggy. I think it is a buggy.
She needed to be given a lot of positive reinforcement. She did a lot of clinging to me and to my assistant. Having an assistant gives us the opportunity to spend more time with children. In the beginning of the year, Jillian chose one friend, and her one friend was Natea, and they connected at the hip.
Hey, I'm not done. You can have all of it.
As the year went on, she was able to branch out. So she went from a child who came very shy and not as comfortable being in a classroom of peers to a leader of peers. A lot because she does have this very mature, extensive vocabulary. She also has a pretty good understanding of the way things work in the world.
Can you give her some? Are you going to be her friend? Are you going to be her friend? But you don't have a thing. Here, we can share our things. Okay?
That's an incredible classroom. All children, no matter where they live, deserve that experience. At the heart of a good pre-K classroom is a great teacher like Anne. She clearly cares for her students, but more than that, Anne's college education and training in early childhood development enable her to help children get the most out of every learning opportunity. And the small ratio of children to teachers in Anne's classroom, never more than 10-to-1, ensures everyone gets plenty of individual attention. Unfortunately, far too many children are not getting this experience. Please join this historic movement to make what you've just seen a reality for all children.
I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone get out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone